Many years ago, I was blessed to spend a semester of postgraduate study in the Holy Land. And one of the courses we took was on foot, literally. We went to seemingly every archaeological site, and we left no stone unturned. Our professor, who was an eccentric French-Canadian, always said that we had to experience the land of Israel like the ancients did, on 4 hooves or 2 feet. And we did some of the 4 hooves too. One of our day trips was walking the ancient Roman road through the Judean hills down from Jerusalem to Jericho. It's an ancient road that roughly parallels today's modern highway. And seemingly out of nowhere, there would appear a small Bedouin boy selling souvenirs, always for $1. That dry, hot day was when I learned firsthand that the setting of Jesus' parable is quite real. Many times on that walk, my thoughts turned to the victim in today's parable who fell in with the robbers. Because of the hilly terrain, the poor guy would never have seen the thieves coming. And so with this dangerous road and hilly terrain as a backdrop, Jesus proclaims to us one of his best-known parables, recorded only by St. Luke, to teach us what it means to love God and neighbor. I'm sure practically all of us know the parable's twist. The only one who treated the victim with mercy, literally the one, as the gospel says, whose very insides were moved with compassion, was a Samaritan. A good Bible commentary or a reliable website can list for you all the reasons that a Samaritan should not be the hero of this story. But suffice it to say that this was the bigger shock to the listeners than Jesus relativizing all of the laws of ritual purity. Jesus demonstrated that sometimes even sworn enemies are capable of the deepest mercy. Think of the innocent civilian who willingly feeds an enemy soldier if he's starving. That kind of compassion moves us even now. And the fact that the hero of this story is a Samaritan is all the more surprising since Jesus and his disciples were just rejected by the Samaritans in the chapter before of Luke's gospel. When we hear this parable, or better yet, when we put ourselves inside of it and listen again to Moses' words to the people of Israel, we also learn how to enter into eternal life. Sometimes you and I seek holiness in extraordinary experiences or in mystical phenomena, and we wrongly conclude that their absence means the absence or the silence of God in our own lives. We seek holiness sometimes up in the sky or in some faraway place across the seas, but it is already right in front of us, or as Moses would say, in our mouths and in our hearts. We enter into eternal life by entering fully into the life we have, and not the one we wish we had. Right in front of us and along our path is where we will find and recognize the abiding presence of the one through whom all things were created, Jesus Christ, the icon, the image of the invisible God. Jesus Christ is present in our daily routine in the ones we know and those who come out of nowhere, especially in the ones abandoned and left for dead along the road. Holiness for the disciple of Jesus means letting that all-consuming love of God continually overflow to the person right in front of us, without regard to race or religion, economic or social status. The disciple of Jesus chooses to love the perfectly sound or the seriously wounded and anyone in between. And doing so makes all the difference between merely living and entering into eternal life. Such boundless, generous love and compassion are made possible when we allow Jesus Christ into our mouths and hearts from this altar. Only when our souls and bodies hold the very presence of Jesus can we hold and bind up the broken bodies of our brothers and sisters. Can we really love like that, even right now? Through him, with him, and in him, Jesus tells us today, if a Samaritan can do it, we who are made in his image and likeness and nourished by him certainly can.